Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Miller's Corner. Today on my series Miller Corner Checks Out, I'm playing Satisfactory. And as you can see, I've already played a little bit of the game, so I have some opening ideas about how I feel about the game. But before we get into it, if you do like this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for future content, including this, which is going to become a complete series where I start fresh, knowing what I know now. And yeah, just play it through as much as I can. So let's get into it. So you can see here, this is about 3 hours of me playing the game. It's honestly a bit of a mess. It's not very efficient. It used to be, and then I messed it up. But I've had fun with the game. I've learned how it goes. So I'll show you what I've done a little bit. I might start a new world, just to sort of show you a little bit. I might not. I might just sort of try and fix my problems here. But yeah, let's go. I'll jump down and then we'll have a look. Alright, so starting the game off, you drop down in a capsule and you start by disassembling that and building this hub. And it's at the start, it's really simple. You get given this to configure the hub terminal and you get a craft bench. You're then told to build this equipment workshop, so you build all your tools and stuff. So basically the whole premise of the game is you're mining resources, developing that resource to finish these milestones basically. So you can see I've already finished tier 0, which is all the hub upgrades, and you get taught how to play the game as you go with unlocking different things. And this tier 1, I've completed them. Haven't really used any of them yet, other than the conveyor stuff. I haven't used any of them. And then I'm on to tier 2, so that's whereabouts I am in the game. First of all, I started by building my stuff right next to these iron mines, which I instantly regretted. So in my complete series, I'm not going to be doing that. Then I found copper, jump over all this stuff, and my copper isn't too far away. It's only down here. So I've got power cables leading to all that, and then conveyors that bring it all up. Alright, what's next? Limestone next to make concrete. It's all by here, so everything's relatively close. The basic the basic production line you're going for is, you can do it all by hand. So you have iron, and then you smelt it down to iron ingots or copper ingots, and then you use them to make different things again. You then, obviously later in the game, I haven't had to use them yet, but copper sheets and modular frames you build with those basic resources. So you're basically upgrading your stuff each time. Oh, you don't need a chainsaw. Oh, I'll just get rid of that. So yeah, I started off with one iron mine, and because you can't split anything, I had 2 going into 2 smelters. If you look on each thing, it basically gives you an overlay of what this thing does. So it'll produce 60 iron per minute, which is great. These smelters, however, only smelt 30 per minute. So what you can basically do is have one mine lead to 2 furnaces or smelters, and then they're running at 100% capacity. That would be the case if I then didn't have my iron hidden into machines that then process 20 parts per minute. So you can see and 15 parts, so different parts. So these are making iron rods, this one is making plates, and that's all coming from one mine. But then these slow the furnaces down, which slow the mine down, and while they're not running, they're not using power, which means that when you're looking at the power, you have this jagged line, which obviously isn't very efficient. I assume, well, from what I know, efficiency would mean that you're running at a constant energy for the whole time, because all your machines are constantly working. Later in the game, you could have one mine lead to 2 furnaces, and then one of those furnaces that have smelt 30, or 2 of those could go to a few different plates or rod manufacturers that all add up to 60, I guess, of the mine, so that it's completely efficient. I have basically the same thing for my copper. I have one mine that leads to 2 furnaces, which leads to 2 builder things. They're both making wires. So you can use these wires for different milestones up in the top right corner here. you're basically giving materials and it's sending them up in that little pod. I'll try and finish one this in a minute so you can sort of see it go up. But you make wires. So I'm making wires in both of them, and then one of them is then going into making cables. And cables are what you're running between each of your things to give it power. So each one of your generators, you get 2 on your main base that are running, and then you can build these ones a little later down in the game, biomass generators. And you can make biomass with the same things that you would be running your normal furnaces with at the start. These can be connected to one power line, or power pole, sorry. And these power poles can connect to 4 things. So connecting it to that furnace is one of those connections. So basically, all you can do, if the first one can connect to the furnace, and then you want it to connect to another power pole. That means that generally one pole can then connect to 2 things at the start. These are only Mark 1 poles. I assume you upgrade into Mark 2 later, which can connect to more things or carry more power. I'm not really sure. So right now you've got a connection going to each power pole, just as like a relay, and then you've got 2 things coming off that one to a machine. All of my machines at the moment were running into, you can see over here, I've made these storage containers, and everything was running into its own storage container. And I stupidly thought, oh, I'll just put all of the conveyors into the same conveyor, which can then lead into one storage container. And what you can see it's done is slow all of my containers down. So if I take all of these plates off, you'll see the actual production rate of these plates. Obviously it's got a lot stored up, so I'll take them out actually. There's a lot stored up, and you'll see the actual production rate isn't every tile of this conveyor belt, but it does do 2 every so often, and then they obviously stack up on the conveyor. Each thing will produce more things than others, but you're basically trying to fit all of this stuff of these 3 into one conveyor, which isn't going to happen. So every say if it moved one thing from here to the actual out conveyor, every 1 second you'd have one thing from this conveyor, and then you'd have one from this conveyor, and then one from this conveyor. So it's slowing everything down by a third. I basically have the same thing happening over here from my limestone, I think it's limestone, give me 1 second. Yep, limestone, into concrete. And the wires are also connecting up to that because I needed another thing to feed it into. So you have 3 things coming out of here. You have 3 things coming out of here. So that's already a third of your capacity gone. Coming into this. So there's 2 connections into this thing. And that's halving it again. So basically everything I'm producing is at 1/6 its speed because of this one conveyor. And then that again is then being split into another half, so I'm at 1/12 of my production just to fit it into this storage container. And obviously you saw a minute ago that each production tool, so this constructor, has a capacity to hold 100 in it, so it's going to be producing those up until the 100 for the start of when it's actually working, but then after that it's just going to be turned off doing nothing. So yeah, in this episode I think I'm just going to strip all of these conveyors away and have it so that everything is in its own storage container, because it's not great at the moment and I'm losing a lot of time on nothing. I will say one more thing before I get into that, is how annoying the timings for things can be. So obviously this is 30 parts per minute, and I've got 2 of them set up, but one isn't actually outputting, so it's not doing anything. That would mean that the mine is running efficiently, these furnaces run efficiently. 15 is kind of okay, because it's obviously a half of 30, which is a quarter of 60, which is the actual mine's capacity. 15's okay. Here. What starts to get annoying is things like this, making screws. 40 parts per minute. And I haven't gone into exactly how this shows up, because the actual recipe, you can see all the recipes here. A screw is 1 bar for 4 screws. So every 4 seconds that a bar is produced, I can then produce 4 screws from it from one machine. And all the maths takes a while to work out, so that's something I'm going to be doing off screen in my complete series, and trying in the future, especially like not straight at the start. Straight at the start you sort of have to do this. You can see I've put some floors down, but once you've done all this you then want to strip it all away, build a building to put it all in so that it all flows nicely, because all this stuff I tried to line up nicely so it's all square, and these corners and everything I tried to do square, but it's not going to be perfect. I've got conveyors like this which are at an angle. It's not pretty. You want everything to be nice and uniform in your actual base. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do in the future. But that obviously means tearing everything down and starting again. And you can hear there, my power just went down, so everything stopped working. Which is happening because everything's not very efficient and it takes ages. So I think I ran out of fuel here, and I don't have any more biomass. So I'm just going to throw some wood in there. Actually, no, you know what? I'll show you the basic crafting in this game. So, over here, you can craft everything by hand, and you can make more of them. So I'm going to go down to biomass, wood. It tells me exactly, I've got 183 wood. Each one then makes, each 4 then makes however many biomass. I can hold the craft button, and it'll just carry on doing it. It'll just keep on going until I stop. Things take different amounts of time to make, sort of, you find that out when you're doing it really. I'm sure it tells you somewhere where it is, but whatever. You can basically do this with every part, so if you wanted to, all of the milestones in the top right again, I could build all that by hand, but obviously in the future you don't want to be doing that because you want it all to be just happening on its own. You want to be building the infrastructure, and then it'll make the parts that you need. Right now I don't have anything set up to make reinforced iron plates, so I'm probably going to have to do that myself anyway. But that's the biggest ordeal you get from the start because of how much stuff it uses. Let's go back into this generator. Top this one off with biomass. Top this one off with biomass. Turn it back on again. Nope. That means one of my ones over here. I've only got one of these connected up. It means that one of these isn't doesn't have anything going. Yeah, this is out of biomass as well. I'll turn that on as well. It'll turn all the machines on, and you can see where my production dropped here. And then, because everything was running smoothly, you can see it's at this lower energy level consumption. But because it's all been off, everything turns back on when you turn it back on, which means you're using a lot more energy to produce the same amount of parts that you would before when it was turned on. So you can see this line here, this was my production of energy here, and now this is my production of energy here. So it means that this biomass burner actually turned off a while ago, but because everything was running so slowly, I didn't actually need it on. But since another one dropped away, it peaked and it ran out of power. So once all the machines have started to build their stuff again, it'll actually drop below this level without this machine running, and I could turn it off again, but I don't really want to because it, stops things. I think first of all, I'll see if I have any parts here. I need 300 bars, got 100 here, and I could probably get a load more from the machine. And I need 50 iron plates. So you can use the crafting menu, I think it's X, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to make all your tools, all your parts, all your buildings, all of that, without you actually having to go to the build menu or go into a building workstation to build stuff. So for my smart plating, it's down here. No, that's not it, sorry, my bad. Reinforced iron plates, that's the one. I need 6 plates, and I need 12 screws. So I need to grab all of my plates. I need to grab all of my screws. I'll grab all the screws I can from here as well. I'll grab all my plates and bars from over here. It's 100 in there. This should be 100. Oh, not quite 100 because I took them out a minute ago. And then we'll finish off the plates that we need. We'll finish off the bars that we need. And then I'm going to make, like I said, I don't have it set up yet, so I'm going to make the reinforced iron plates by hand. I can make 43, I need 50. So I'm probably going to run out of iron plates. So by the time I finish crafting these, I'll have more iron plates to then build more again. So I'll jump back to you once that's done, and I'll show you sending all this stuff away. Right, that's the 50 reinforced iron plates that I need. So I can dump these. Oh, sorry, it's under my desk. I can dump these into the thing. Press the big red launch button. Jump backwards, and you'll see the little drone.
Reached. Improved versions
fly
of
off.
Conveyor belts and conveyor lifts are now accessible.
And this is the woman that basically guides you through the game. You can turn this off and stuff. But yeah, she basically guides you through the opening set of the game. Pretty much all of the tier 0 stuff is teaching you how to build, teaching you what to do and stuff. So next, I think I might just sort of rip some of these things away. So if you press F, I can use this tool, and it just destroys all of the stuff that you click on. There's also a master manual button. I'm not actually sure what it does. I haven't used it yet. Oh, I can basically highlight over things and it'll just dismantle stuff. But that's kind of intimidating. I don't want to dismantle everything I own. Let's get rid of these 3 things here, so that they're not actually producing anything. And then I can press Q, which is the builder. Organization. I want storage containers. And I can spin them around so they're all square to the buildings I currently have. I'm probably going to have to get rid of... Oh, I do need to actually get rid of this as well. Which means getting rid of these conveyors that come from them. And the conveyor poles that they're being supported by. Right. So I need the storage containers. And I can... Obviously on this floor you can see it all snaps nicely. Over here it's all free. And you can hold down, what's that, control. And it'll lock it to other centers of things that you already have. So I'm going to set this to be... go there. And then I can do another one. Oh. Let's go there. It's not quite square, but it'll do. And then I can do a third one by here. Try and get both blue lines in it. Kind of difficult. Where is it? Come on. There. It was there. There, sorted. We now have 3 storage containers. So this will hold our wires, our plates, and our bars. And then you use that same tool again. Oh, sorry, not that same tool again. Press 3, and this is your basically your hotbar for things you build a lot of. And you can build them from miles away. So I was stood over here, on top of this. And I could build down where the copper mine is. It's great. It's such a cool tool to be able to use from miles away. So it means you can be on top of stuff and it'll just build it. So you want to build from here to here. And everything... I haven't had a problem with conveyors going the wrong direction yet, because everything has an in port and an out port, and you should just, as long as you get that all set up correctly, there is no problems. What do we need to get rid of next? Let's get rid of this one. All of this stuff here. We can move this box. I'm going to collect a lot of stuff here. I can move this box to say in front, so that it just picks up all of the stuff from in here, if I have the room for it, which I think I do. That should be in line. And then I can build another conveyor from there to there. What else do we need? Need to get rid of this and this conveyor. We can have one storage box that connects both of these constructors together. I think, yeah, that'll do. And one that collects all of the cables. So I want another 2 storage boxes. I build one with the exports. Build one there. I'll do. And I think I'll build another one here. And then this belt can go into there. Oh, the conveyor belt has an invalid shape. That's a problem. I'll have to get rid of it. Get rid of this thing as well. Try that again without an invalid shape. So I guess it was just too close together. It can't do that sort of turn on a conveyor belt. Let's go by there. I'll do. Again, the conveyor into there. These aren't pretty. It doesn't have to be pretty at the moment because I do in the future want to build a giant building. This is probably my private world. I might show you occasional things of like how I'm doing, but on the actual world that we play on, I'll probably want a big building and then one giant storage area so I know everything goes into something nicely together. So we want this to be square to that and in front of it, but also in front of that by there. I'll do. We can then have conveyors leading from this one builder into there, this builder into there, and this to here. So obviously this is going to halve the amount that it can actually throw into here. You can, I think what I have unlocked now, I'll have a look, but I'm not quite sure. Faster conveyor belts. I think I've unlocked Mark II now. So I might be able to use them to transport materials away from the actual production line faster than they're coming out of it. But I think that's all of my stuff be thrown into storage containers, which means you can see here we've already got 166. I only had, probably from maybe 15 minutes of running, I only had 500-600 screws. These are all going to be running at max capacity. Nearly. See, this is still doing 15 parts per minute and this is 40 parts per minute. So it might be a bit slow on some parts that are leading into each other, but for the most part, it's guiding into it. I think that's a good place to end this Checks Out series. Like I said, this is just a sort of initial introduction into the game before I start my... There's theories, I've never noticed them before. Yeah, initial introduction into the game before I start my complete series on this. Again, if you did like this video and you want to watch more of my new complete series that'll be coming out, I think Wednesday, I think I'm starting it. Then subscribe, and if you like this video, please do like it because it does support me and my channel in growing for the future. So other than that, thanks for watching. Goodbye.